Victoria Resto, reporting to you live from Sanford Hall at Georgia Southern University. Eagle Preview gives incoming freshmen a way to get a feel for the Georgia Southern campus.
Georgia Southern's College of Science and Mathematics next fall.
Early voting started on the Georgia Southern campus Tuesday, October 22nd.
State and federal authorities are investigating fires that were set to 3 mail-in ballot boxes to destroy ballots in Portland and Vancouver. Pittman Park United Methodist Church held a Halloween treat trail.
Russell Union is the third location offering early voting in the Statesboro and Bullock County area, while anyone registered to vote has the ability to utilize the campus as an early voting location. The majority of voters in the Russell Union Ballroom were college students. The ability to vote on campus gives students the safety of having familiar people around for the important decision to provide guidance.
If you're unsure about what you may need or what the requirements may be, you're already around faculty and staff that you usually see on if not a daily basis, a weekly basis that can help you and guide you into the voting process.
Many of the students utilizing the on-campus early voting are first-time voters. Staff working during early voting made sure to show support to the first-time voters by clapping before and after they submitted their votes. Early voting on the Georgia Southern campus gives first-time voters the opportunity to participate in voting while balancing their busy schedules. This could have a big impact on the outcome of the election coming up in just under 2 weeks. There are several factors for the impact of first-time voters. 1, in some polls, Harris is leading by as much as 38 points among college students. And 2, campus polling places like this are making it easier for students around the country to cast their ballots. The majority of the voters we saw using the Georgia Southern location for early voting were students, but there were residents too.
I'm going to go to campus and vote, and there was no line. It was like easy access, and you just have, I could park, and get in and get out.
Most voters spent no longer than 10 minutes at the voting stations and were able to avoid long wait times completely. Incoming freshmen got the chance to experience what life is like at Georgia Southern before they move in this coming August. Eagle Preview is an open house that provides students with the opportunity to meet with faculty from all of the undergraduate degree programs. Current Georgia Southern students were available as ambassadors to provide guidance to prospective students and their families.
It's been pretty good so far, being able to show prospective students, the way around campus and the different opportunities we have here at Georgia Southern and make them feel right at home.
Eagle Preview provides the unique experience of all academic departments coming together with student resource areas to share information to students and families. Student resource areas like housing, fraternity and sorority life, and campus recreation and intramurals set up booths in Russell Union to provide prospective students with information and merchandise. Russell Union was bursting at the seams with nearly 1,000 incoming freshmen and their families to learn everything they could about what Georgia Southern has to offer. With so many different students aiming for different majors, Georgia Southern made sure to have a representative in every department available to talk to students interested in a specific major.
It's been really nice. I've talked to a few people, and they've all been very nice and helpful. Taught me a few things I didn't find from information online.
Eagle Preview also offered campus tours, recreation activity center tours, and housing tours. The housing tours allowed students to see dorm rooms that students currently live in to give prospective students insight into the same dorm rooms they will live in.
Coming up on Eagle News, with the presidential election just weeks away, first-time voters are taking the presidential debate very seriously. Stick around to hear what some had to say. Georgia Southern's Eagle Battalion took to Paulson Stadium to pay tribute to the lives lost in the 9/11 terrorist attacks. And
First Fridays are no longer due to a constitutional battle. I'm Jay Galvin, and I have the story for you coming up.
Good morning. I'm Jonathan Hooker with Eagle News. It's Thursday, September 19th.
And I'm Ainsley Smith, reporting live from Sanford Hall at Georgia Southern University.
In a poll released Wednesday morning, 48% of experts at CNBC believe that Kamala Harris will win the November election, while 41% see Donald Trump retaking the White House.
Last week's presidential debate, and how will it affect the election? Sam Hagan has more on that story. Sam?
Jonathan, Ainsley, A large percentage of Georgia Southern students will be voting for the first time in a presidential election. The debate was their first opportunity to watch the candidates go head-to-head before having to cast their votes on election night. 3 Georgia Southern students watched the presidential debate last Tuesday for a government class they are taking this semester. This is the first election they are able to vote in and are hoping to get a better idea of the candidates and who they're going to vote for come November.
I feel like it's really important to watch the presidential debate so that I can learn more about the candidates and see who I really want to vote for.
With it being their first time voting, these students made an effort to take notes on what the candidates were saying and the points they agreed and disagreed with. The ability to watch the candidates give answers to live questions paints a picture on how the candidates do under pressure. Watching the presidential debate in groups like this is a good way of expressing your feelings and beliefs in a safe space before having to cast your ballot on election night. Kate Perry, a political science professor at Georgia Southern, says debates are a crucial part of the election cycle and gives viewers insight on who exactly they are watching and their policies.
One thing that we can learn that I don't think we always think so much about is the ability of candidates to handle tense situations.
The students were hopeful that they would learn more about the candidates during the debate.
Yes, I feel like I've learned more about their personality, their policies, and their beliefs.
The 3 students felt that the debate helped them get to know the candidates better and narrow down who they might vote for come election night. Overall, they believe that the debate is an important part of the election cycle and has many benefits. The American people felt the same way because, as you said, Jonathan, Harris jumped 6 points ahead of Trump in a poll taken after the debate. Experts believe that the 6-point jump is crystallizing her national lead over the former president in polls all across the country. Jonathan, Ainsley, back to you.
The earliest polls following last week's debate also favored Harris, but not all of them put her in the lead. Here's a look at CNN, Fox, and Live Now numbers. According to CNN, its viewers says that Harris takes the win with 63% of registered voters believing that the vice president surpassed the former president. Live Now viewers have a differing opinion stating Trump won the debate with 68% of voters believing his performance was better than Harris, who gained 31% of the vote. Finally, in a Fox 5 poll on who won, Harris gained the majority of the votes by 54% compared to Trump's 45%. To celebrate this year's Constitution Day, Georgia Southern's Political Science Department shares a few tips for student voters. The Political Science Department shared important information for students on their rights and responsibilities as voters. With the upcoming elections, students expressed their concern on how they should prepare. The experts stressed the importance of doing research on each candidate and not relying solely on social media. By participating, you grow, they would say virtue, but you grow in intelligence, you grow in an understanding of others, you grow in being able to participate in a democracy every time you do it. Students can visit georgiasouthern.edu/Eagles vote to learn more information about voting. On the site, you can check everything from your local voting station to your registration status, all in one place. Barrett County officials released 911 calls made during the shooting at Appalachia High School. The shooting at Appalachia High School in Winder, Georgia has now been named as the deadliest school shooting in Georgia history. 2 students and 2 teachers were killed in this shooting on September 4th. The 911 calls made during the shooting showed the immediate reactions of first responders.
For the shooter. In custody, uninjured.
Students at Appalachia will go back to school on September 24th, but will do half days until October 4th. After the district's fall break, which lasts from October 7th to October 11th, students will resume full-time classes starting October 14th.
Last Wednesday, Georgia Southern Eagle Battalion marched a symbolic 110 flights of stairs inside of Paulson Stadium for the 6th annual 9/11 stair climb, paying tribute to the lives lost during the infamous terrorist attacks in 2001. While the cadets, their military instructors, and local firefighters ascended the steps, There were badges with the name and picture of a first responder who sacrificed their life during the rescue efforts that day.
So both Statesboro and Bullitt County Fire Department showed up, and they did the whole thing in their bunker gear, which is a very big kudos to them.
The cadets encouraged each other throughout the challenge, finishing strong as the day broke over stadium walls. Category 2 Hurricane Francine caused flash flooding and power outages for hundreds of thousands of people on the Louisiana coast. Along with flooding and power outages, the hurricane brings high-speed winds that have sent debris flying. Many Louisiana residents have experienced damage to their homes as a result. Hurricane Francine is now making its way through the south as a tropical storm with the threat of tornadoes following close behind.
Still to come on Eagle News, new information on the controversial detainment of star football player Tyreek Hill.
We'll also have the latest update on the Tyreek Hill arrest in Miami. Plus,
First Fridays are no longer due to a constitutional battle. I'm Jay Galvin, and I have the story for you coming up.
We have our trivia question of the day. What city in Georgia is the granite capital of the world? We'll be back with the answer right after the break. Stay with us.